Hey YouTube, how you doing? How you doing, friends and family? Hope everybody's day is going great and enjoying your family time, getting ready for the work week. Today I want to discuss about marriage. Saying that I've been married twice, I think I've learned some things or two about how to stay in marriage. Because nowadays it's predominant that people are just getting divorced and divorced. It's like nobody really want to work their marriage out. So yes, I've been married twice, and within those two marriages, I haven't been the perfect husband. And my first marriage was good, was great, but I also did some things within those marriage that wasn't good at all, which caused some issues within the marriage. And my second marriage in the beginning was good also, but I did things in that marriage that caused a marriage to have to get let go and for us to get a divorce. So I'll say this first. With getting married, you have to know for sure that you're getting married because you love that person, you're in love with that person. Because most people nowadays are so fast into marriage, not knowing that they stay in that lust phase and they want to get married. They just want to, they think that that's what they're supposed to do, that's what society tells you to do, but they don't want to take the time to really get to know that person, to really get to. And first off, you shouldn't even get married or be in a relationship without loving yourself first. Because if you're looking for love from someone else, your relationship or your marriage is not going to work out if you don't love yourself. Because you're going to wonder all the time why this person doesn't love you. What are you doing wrong? If you have to ask yourself that question, that person is not for you. Because if you are doing something wrong, that person should be, you should be, both of you guys, you should know one another, be open enough to talk about what is going on, or if there's something going on, so you guys can discuss it, make it work, or even go see a counselor and get a third person involved. Just make sure it's not lust that you're feeling, it's love. And marriage is hard work. Think about it, you're gonna be with this person every single day every single day. This person gonna be in your face all the time. Marriage is hard work. You gotta put in work. You cannot give up anytime there's an argument, there's a fight. You gotta put in work. You gotta talk about everything, talk about things. Don't try not to get in an argument, which you can't. You're gonna get arguments, but try not to make the arguments get out of control, because that's not good at all. Talk about everything. Talk. The most important thing about relationship is communication. If there's no communication there, you have nothing. Marriage is not about sex. That was most people want to believe. Marriage is not about sex or anything like that, or anything sexual. It's about communication, getting to know your significant other. So it's also important to have trust in your person, in your significant other. If you don't have trust in that person, then why are you with that person? If you can't trust that person leaving the house, why are you with that person? You shouldn't be with that person, because you don't have trust with that person, because that person gave you a reason not to trust him, her, or him. So if you don't have trust with him, get some help. You guys go to counseling so you can build that trust back up, because that marriage is not gonna go nowhere. Once you break up trust, it's hard to build it back up, especially if you don't get help. And you cannot, the person that broke that trust cannot blame his or her partner from not having trust because of what he or she did. You broke the trust. Now you got to make sure your partner is able to trust you again, especially if you want to work things out. A lot of marriages broke up due to infidelity. A lot of men can dish it out, but cannot take it, which is wrong, very wrong. You should never cheat on your spouse at all whatsoever. Because guys, a woman can do it better than you can. So don't cheat on your spouse. Your spouse is there to fulfill your needs. Talk about it. Talk about everything that you're feeling. If you're feeling somehow, talk about it. I learned a lot of things from both marriages. I wasn't really a good communicator due to me just trying to not talk about nothing. Just wanted to keep to myself. I was mainly a provider, and I'm mainly worried about my family, that they're okay, or what my wife was doing, or what my children were doing, if they needed anything. And my spouses would ask me about my day, and I wouldn't go in depth about it. And you know how women love to talk, and that was my fault. And that builds a relationship, and I didn't want to talk about anything. So that's not a good thing for any man to do. I know we men like to feel tough and don't want to talk about bad days, don't want to talk about how we felt, how we feel. It's not a good thing. Talk about how you feel. It builds up your relationship. It makes your spouse trust you, makes your spouse love you even more, makes your spouse feel like you are trusting her with everything you are saying to her about your day, about how you feel. Talk to your spouse. Men, don't try to hide your feelings. In the end, it's not gonna work out. There's a lot of things that can be spoken about marriages, which I'll make more videos about it, but it's very important that love your family, love your spouse, be there for her when she needs you or when he needs you, and don't do anything outside of your marriage. Your spouse, your wife or your husband you guys supposed to be one. You guys supposed to talk about anything. Don't go outside your marriage. Talk about how you feel your spouse is acting. Don't talk to it to someone else, because that's going outside your marriage. And if he or she finds out, that's gonna cause an argument within your marriage. And also, within your marriage, if you have an issue, if your husband or your wife if you guys are arguing, or if he does something you don't like or she does something you don't like, don't talk about it. Don't bring it up to your family members, because that's a lot of things. I see a lot of people, I see things on TV that causes issues within the marriage, because if the only things that his or her family members are hearing is the bad things about you, they're not gonna like you at all. They're gonna always feel some type of way. If you have an issue with your spouse or what he or she's doing, you guys come together, talk about it, to go see a counselor, so you guys can work things out or find out what is the problem beneath it and try to fix it, instead of bringing outsiders into your marriage. And that's never a good thing. So the biggest thing is communication. Just enjoy each other. Listen, you married this person for a reason. You married him or her for how you felt and how you've been feeling. That person you married hasn't changed. If anything, they're just growing to be a better person, for you, to be a better person in society, to have a better career, to what were they doing. So if you have any issue with your significant other, with your spouse, talk to your spouse. That is very important. Don't hold things in, because hold things in and you don't talk about it. What does that do? That builds anger, that builds animosity, that builds negative things, and you just pretty much walking around your home and feeling all type of way about your spouse, and he or she doesn't know what you're going through because you don't want to talk about it. And that's not a good thing at all. That's not a good thing at all. I've lived through that, because I was the one that was doing all this thing. That's not good. And that will cause issues after issues within your relationship. Enjoy one another. Just have fun. Enjoy life. What life has to bring. The grass is not always greener on the other side, ladies and gentlemen. The grass is not always greener on the other side. You might think from the beginning, this other man might be better than my husband, this other woman might be better than my wife. Yeah, in the beginning, everything will be good. But after that lust phase, what then? Then you're gonna be thinking, he or she's acting just like what I just went through. Grass is not always greener on the side. Try to work your marriage out. Most important thing, respect your woman. Respect your wife. Have respect to your wife. Give respect to your wife. Don't insult your wife. Don't do anything negative to your wife. That's your wife. You won't want any man to do your daughters like that. Don't do that to your wife. Anything that you won't want a man to do to your daughter, do not do to your wife. Before I forget, with going into a relationship or marriage, it's important to know also, don't go into any relationship if you feel like you've been broken due to a previous relationship or family or anything, if you feel like you're broken and you haven't really healed yourself or be one with yourself or love yourself, don't get into any relationship. It's just gonna make you feel worse. You're not gonna be all there. You're gonna just be looking for something in your partner that you don't have yet, or within you, that you haven't found that for yourself yet. Whether how long it takes, get to know yourself first. That is so very important. Get to know yourself first. So make sure you don't get into anything, any relationship, marriage, until you heal yourself or find your own self. Know your own self. That was so true with me. After my separation and my divorce, I took all that time to find myself. And I feel like I'm a whole different person from how I was. I took all that time. I reflect on things, and I did a lot of soul searching, and it's working out real good now for me. I'm a single man, but I'm happy with myself because I did all that and found things within myself that I didn't know about, that I had to work on, and I'm content with that. So take your time and find yourself, and that once you are happy within yourself, other people around you are gonna be happy. Take your time. Don't be rushed. Everybody nowadays wants to rush into a relationship or to a marriage because that's what family members expect them, or that's what society expect them. Take your time. You're the only one. Take your time. That's your life. That's your life you're living. Nobody else is living that life for you. Take your time. Don't rush into it. Get your careers together. Just like I always tell my daughters and my son. Get your career together first before you even worry about anything. Get your independence first before you worry about anything. Because marriage or relationship can take a toll on someone, especially if you're in a bad relationship or bad marriage. It can take a toll on someone and makes you forget about who you are. Don't do that to yourself. Get yourself together. Make sure you have your priorities straight, and make sure that your spouse you guys respect each other. Listen and taking accountability. Your opinion is not the only one that matters. So it's saying all this, just know yourself, know what you're worth, know what you have to offer, know yourself. So with this, I will talk more. If you have any questions, just type in the comments, subscribe, like. I don't want to make the video too long, so I'll just make another video. Guys, have a great day, and God bless.